do. My 3-month-old baby needs some shoes. Can't you see what I'm going through? Clock on the wall keeps ticking, talking, don't stop, and then somebody's knocking on my door telling me to go. Brother, I can't take no more. So with my knees I hit the floor and say, help me, Jesus, help me, Jesus. Let's go down by the riverside. Leave your problems all behind. You can rest troubled mind. Down by the riverside. Wow. Wow.
Say it for me one more time.
Wow. What did you say? If I concentrate on all the bad and all the things I wish I had, how can the dark clouds ever pass? We may go for a night, but joy comes in the morning. I gotta keep spirit right, so no matter what the people say, ain't nobody taking this joy away. In spite of everything I've been through, I can say, thank you, Jesus, thank you, Jesus, thank you, Jesus. Let's go down by the riverside. Leave your problems all behind. You can rest troubled mind. Down by. Hey. Let's go down by the riverside. Leave your troubles all behind. You can rest troubled mind. Down by the riverside. Wow.
Come on, family, say what?
Wow. Wow. What did you say? There's a blessing in the world, y'all. Oh, by the riverside. Say what now? There's a healing in the water, y'all. Oh, by the riverside. Say what now? There's a blessing in the water, y'all. Oh, by the riverside. Say what now? There's a healing in the water, y'all. Oh, by the riverside. Say what now?
Hi everyone, my name is Sonja Robinson and I am coming on today. The topic of this video is concerning remote learning. And so we are all going to talk about certain parts of remote learning as it relates to us as individuals. But today I am going to talk about remote learning and the relationship between teachers and parents. And so today I am not speaking as a parent, although I am a parent that have children in remote learning, but today I'm going to speak as a teacher. So if you all do not know, I am a first grade teacher at Providence Inglewood Charter School, and I teach a class of 26 first grade students. What I have noticed is that I know that this is a difficult time for all of us. And I know that sometimes communication is not as clear between parents and teachers, but as a teacher, it's something that I want to say to the parents. I want you all to understand that we are doing the best that we can. We were not given a roadmap how to do remote learning the right way. We were not told years in advance. A lot of us went to school to teach in classrooms. We were not taught how to teach a lot of our lessons on computers. And so we had to adjust just as parents had to adjust. And I feel as if the teachers are doing a really good job. We have come together and we devised a different type of plan where your child is on remote learning a little bit longer, and we're doing the best that we can. So it is my advice as a teacher to the parents to tell you, if you are having a hard time adjusting to remote learning, stay positive. It's very important to stay positive because your children can hear you. And if you are speaking negative towards the teacher, your child can hear you. And then when they come on remote learning, they have a negative attitude. They're not listening. They're not following instructions. So that is one thing that I want to say. Another thing that I want to say is communicate. Do not try to figure it out on your own. Communicate with your child's teacher. Ask them questions. Email. Do whatever you can to keep the communication window open. And as the time goes on, I promise you things are going to get better. We'll get adjusted to remote learning, and you will find out that it's not as bad as you think it is. Once you do that I suggested, which is to communicate and to stay positive. And so I hope that you all take my advice and take that along with you as you go through remote learning. And that is all that I have for you all today. Bye.
Hello, my name is Dynna Edwards, and today I am going to be talking about remote learning. My sister just went on before me as a teacher, and now I am going to speak as a parent. I'm the mom of 2 teenage sons, so of course you can imagine that's very challenging. And oftentimes they don't really want to be involved in remote learning. It's a little difficult for them. But one of the things I found to be very beneficial is to keep in contact with my kids' teachers. And so that can be a little difficult because I also work full time. But one of the things I found to be very helpful for me is to call the school and track down the teachers and then let them know that texting is the best way to reach me, texting and email. Whenever I narrow down exactly the best way for them to contact me, it's easier, and they know, definitely calling me is not going to be the best way. Also, it kind of gives me a better rapport with them because I know certain teachers, they might call on Mondays, some teachers call on Wednesdays, some call in the evening. So now that I have a list of which teachers contact me best at which days, it's easier for me to keep track of what my kids are doing throughout the work week. Also, I signed myself up for the weekly reports. So with my kids, every Friday there is a weekly report, and actually every single day there's a daily report. So when that daily report comes out, I can check in with my kids and say, okay, I see that you did all of the English, but you didn't really do all the science. I think it's really important to just team up with the teachers. It's challenging and it's difficult, but it's well worth it because our kids, even though they may not say that they want the support, when you add that structure in there, or when you come back home and you say, I talked to Mr. Jones, or talk to Miss Robinson, they be like, oh, okay. And I find that my children, even though they don't ask for structure, they really do enjoy it, and they enjoy the fact that you care enough to check in on them. The final point that I do want to say is being a mom of teenagers. It's different, okay? It's different as they go from age to age. My sister is probably more learned, if you will, about the different points in times where children's minds progress. But I know for teenagers, it can seem as if they're distant, right? They'll be sitting there and you be like, I love you. And they'll be like, how was your day? And they go, fine. At least that's how mine are. I don't know how yours are, but they distant. And it can seem like they don't want anything to do with you. Be encouraged. I find the best way to deal with that behavior is to just be around. I mean, literally just kind of sit around, hang around, show a lot more interest in what they are doing. And then they'll start to kind of notice, like, man, she's always sitting here. When she comes home from work, she's always kind of there. And brings about a relationship, even though they act like they don't want it. They do want it. Even though they pretend like it's not that important, it is. It's just that it's a very difficult time. It's a hard time for them. And it's very difficult for them to figure out what they really want in life. Finally, my final thought is you have to pray. You have to have your own individualized moment with God about your kids, because there will be some moments where you're going to think, oh my God, this child crazy. This child is bananas. This kid has lost his mind, or this, whatever it may be. And they're facing the world and they're trying to figure out who they are. They trying to identify, and they trying to be cool, and they trying to fit in, And so with all those things and emotions going on, you have to become prayerful, because sometimes they can't really say exactly how they feel. They can't really voice exactly what it is that's bothering them. So you have to be in alignment with God so that he can show you this is what's wrong with him. This is what's wrong with her. You have to treat this one like this. You're going to have to work with this one like that. So we're going to have to be in line with the teachers, and we most definitely are going to have to be in line with God. Okay? And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Talk with you guys later.
Hi, my name is Sybil McGill, and I'm going to be speaking on remote learning. What I'm going to be talking about, I'm going to be piggybacking on what my sisters had discussed. One thing that I have learned since remote learning has started this year is the importance of staying engaged and staying involved. A lot of us parents are working parents. I am a working mom, but I had to make the decision to be sure that I hold myself accountable as well as my daughter. So one of the things, as the weeks began to start, I did find myself to get very frustrated because things were constantly not working. This was breaking down. This email didn't work. This password didn't work. But I had to understand that we're all in this together. We're all feeling our way through. So in the midst of my frustration, I had to take a step back. I couldn't blame my daughter. I couldn't blame the teachers, because it was neither of their faults. So I made the decision to literally take it one day at a time, to stay in contact with my daughter's teachers, to ask questions, and there's no such thing as a dumb question. But I also made sure that I thanked her, because she is not the only student that she has to deal with. We have to understand that our teachers are human beings. They have home lives. They have other responsibilities. And us as parents, coming down their throat and going at them as if it's their fault is not right. So we cannot get upset if our child is not doing their homework. We can't get mad at the teacher. We have to hold our children accountable as well. So one thing that I'm starting to learn, and thing that I have implemented that is helping my daughter to be productive, is incentives. I started to do incentives because you have to understand that in remote learning, there's a lot of gaps. They have no after school activities. They're not able to hang out with their friends on a daily basis. These are things that have been taken away from them. And that is something that my daughter was heavily involved in. So you have to take that into account as well. We as adults are going through, but they're going through. So I had to do my research and try to find other activities that she can get involved in. Try to take her places where she can meet new people and still have some type of life outside of school. So us as parents, we have to be patient. We have to hold ourselves accountable as well as our children, and try to fill in those gaps. And as my sister spoke, we have to pray over our children. We have to ask for guidance, because it's literally a day by day situation. Because at the end of the day, we have no control over things. We literally have to do what we're in control over. So as a working mom, I can't say, oh, I was at work all day, or I'm tired,
or I don't feel like doing it. I work a 12-hour shift. That does not relieve me of the responsibility as a mother to make sure that my daughter is doing what she's supposed to do and making sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. So we as parents always try to use, oh, well, I'm tired, or I'm going through this, or I don't feel good, as an excuse to relieve us of our responsibilities. And that's just not right. So if we do that, we cannot blame our children for getting that F, because we still have to check in on them. We still have to see how their day went. We still have to see how was it for you to get on these different platforms, to turn in this homework, to do this homework, to talk to your teacher, to get on Zoom, to get off Zoom. Because we're not really in it like they are. So I just wanted to shed some light on that, to be mindful of the fact that it's nobody's fault. It's not the teacher's fault. It's not the children's fault. It's not our fault. We're all going through one way or another, and we'll all have struggles, but we just got to do our part. So that's all I have for you guys. Until next time.
Hi, my name is Deleon, and I'm gonna talk about me being a single parent in this pandemic. I'm a single parent to an 8-year-old and an 11-year-old, and I am a manager at Walmart. So my hours are 10 to 12 hours a day. Sometimes I cannot help them get on the computer to start their day in school. It's really difficult being a single parent, but I learned that I have to use other sources sometimes. Sometimes I would have to call one of my sisters. I might have to pay them sometimes, but I can't do it alone. It does get frustrating. One starts at 7:45, the other one starts at 10 o'clock. One is done before the other. So it is very frustrating. So I'm here to tell the parents that sometimes you have to ask for help. Don't be ashamed to ask for help, because looking at myself, I can't do it alone. And there are times where the homework is due at 4 o'clock p.m. I don't get off till 7. So my son's homework is late every single day. So what I would have to do is try to get in contact with the teachers to see if they can have some type of reception, because I'm not there to help him with his homework. So I'm just here to encourage you guys that it will be hard sometimes, it will get frustrating, but if you ask for help, it will get better.